Let's talk about empathy. It's a word we hear all the time, a skill we all think we understand. But what if the way we've always explained it is kind of missing the point? Today, we're going to dig into what empathy really is and how just a small shift in how we see it can literally change everything.
We've all heard this one, right? Walk a mile in their shoes. It's the classic metaphor for empathy. The idea is, you gotta put yourself in their position to really get what they're going through. It's pretty much the standard definition we've all grown up with.
But hang on a second. What if that old saying isn't the whole story? What if, for some of the most important people we're trying to teach, like, kids, it just doesn't make any sense at all?
Okay, so here's the official by-the-book definition. It's about understanding and sharing feelings. And yeah, that sounds simple enough, but when you actually try to put that into practice, it can be, well, a little fuzzy, especially if you're young.
I mean, really think about it from a 5-year-old's point of view. They take things so literally. You tell them to walk in someone else's shoes, and they're just thinking, ew, why? Their shoes are probably stinky. The metaphor that's supposed to make things clear just ends up being weird and confusing.
So, if our number one explanation doesn't really work, we've got to ask a much deeper question. What's the real starting point here? What's the one thing you need before you can even begin to feel what another person is feeling?
And the answer is awareness. It's that simple. Before we can feel for somebody else, we just have to notice. Notice what's going on inside of us, and notice what's happening with the people around us. That moment of just noticing, that's the real seed of empathy.
And you know what? It all starts with ourselves. It's not enough to just say, I'm happy or I'm mad. We have to ask why. Once we get a handle on the why behind our own feelings, we suddenly have this amazing ability to see it in other people. We see a friend sitting quietly and we can think, they might be sad, kind of like I was when my dog was sick.
Now this brings us to a really, really important difference. Empathy is the feeling. It's that shared understanding. But compassion, well, compassion is empathy in action. It's what you do with that feeling. It's the part that makes you want to step in and help.
Let me tell you a quick story. Picture this. It's recess. A third grader is running around, slips on some ice, and falls. Hard. He actually breaks one of his permanent teeth, right in half. He's shocked, he's in pain, and he is super upset. And what happens next is just amazing. The other kids, who are totally fine, they don't just stand there and stare. They immediately run over to him. They felt his panic. That's empathy. And it instantly turned into compassion as they helped him up and got him to an adult. That moment on the playground just shows you the incredible power we have. It's the power to completely change someone's day. I love this quote. It says you can be a bright, beautiful, sunny day when they might be having a great rainy day.
And here's the most important part. Those kids couldn't fix his tooth. That wasn't their job. Their only job in that moment was to offer comfort and care. And that shows us that empathy isn't about having all the solutions. It's just about being present and letting someone know they're not alone.
Okay, so let's take this whole idea and bring it into a place where these connections are just fundamental, the classroom. Because while empathy is a big deal everywhere in life, it has a special kind of power inside a school.
Think about it. Behind every student's face, there's a whole world we can't see. They're juggling academic stress, social drama, problems at home. A lot of the time, when a kid is acting out or shutting down, it's not defiance. It's a signal. It's their way of telling us they have a need that isn't being met.
But when a teacher builds a classroom on a foundation of empathy, the results are just incredible. It builds trust and respect like you wouldn't believe. It gets kids more engaged because they feel safe. And of course, it supports their emotional well-being and cuts down on conflicts. It's a total game changer.
And the best part is, it's not about some big, complicated new program. The tools are actually super simple, but so powerful. Just using a student's name, greeting them with a warm hello at the door, really listening when they talk, validating their feelings instead of brushing them off. These little things, they build mountains of trust.
19,000. I want you to just think about that number for a second. 19,000. What on earth could that be?
It's hours. Over 19,000 hours. That's how much time, on average, a teacher will spend with their students over a career. That is an absolutely staggering amount of time to shape a life, to influence, and to be a role model for the next generation.
There's actually a legal term for this deep relationship. It's a Latin phrase, in loco parentis, and all it means is in the place of a parent.
It's this formal recognition that teachers have a duty to care for their students as if they were their own kids.
And this all leads to a really wild idea. With all the lesson plans and state standards and tests, what if the most important lessons a teacher gives aren't in the curriculum at all?
The things that really stick with students are the things they see modeled every single day. Kindness, tolerance for people who are different, acceptance, fairness, and the humility to say, you know what, I made a mistake. These aren't subjects you study. They're the building blocks of a good human.
Because that's really what it all boils down to. 20 years from now, a student probably won't remember how to diagram a sentence, but they will never forget the teacher who made them feel seen, who made them feel valued, and who truly made them feel understood.
And look, this isn't just a message for teachers. Every single one of us is a role model to someone. We are all teaching all the time just by how we live. So I guess the question I want to leave you with is this: what are the people in your life learning from you?